Two lives, scarred by loss, finally found happiness together. But in the quiet suburbs of Long Island, jealousy and rage were silently brewing. One night, a premeditated act of violence would shatter their blended family forever, leaving a community reeling and a young daughter facing unimaginable trauma. It was the summer of 2024 in St. James, Long Island, a picturesque suburban enclave where the trees lined the streets like sentinels, and the evenings smelled of freshly cut grass and ocean breezes. For Kelly Coppola, 50, and Kenneth Pohlman, 53, it had been a season of renewal. Both had endured profound losses from an abusive marriage that left her wary of trust, and Kenny, from the death of his first wife to cancer 17 years prior. Together, they had created something rare and beautiful, a blended family that included Kenny's children, Brianna, 25, Tyler, 21, and Jenna, 14, alongside Kelly's teenage daughter, Gianna. Their lives were intertwined with laughter, vacations, and family dinners. But even in this idyllic setting, shadows loomed. Kelly's ex-husband, Daniel Coppola, watched from the sidelines, nursing resentment and plotting revenge. A love story reborn was about to collide with a darkness neither family could foresee. Kelly Jean Coppola was born in 1974 on Long Island to John and Karen Coppola. From the beginning, she was her father's pride and Joya, true daddy's girl. Her family often recounted her laughter echoing through the house, her knack for remembering birthdays, and the way she radiated warmth to anyone she met. Even as a child, Kelly showed signs of strength and empathy, often caring for her younger brothers, Ryan and Kyle, and bonding deeply with extended family, including her stepsiblings, Keith and Courtney, at Sachem High School. Kelly's life was marked by friendship and joy. She participated in school events, cherished her social circles, and had a lightness about her that drew people in. Teachers and friends remembered her as vibrant, always smiling, and someone who would lift the spirits of anyone around her. After high school, Kelly married Daniel Coppola and gave birth to Gianna, who became the center of her world. Professionally, she worked in accounting for a media company, balancing spreadsheets by day and cheerleading competitions by night. She attended every game, every recital, and every school event, making her daughter's happiness her own. Yet, behind the smiles, her life was far from perfect. Domestic struggles marred her marriage. Friends and family recalled incidents of control and aggression from Daniel that left her fearful yet resilient. In 2022 or 2023, she made the courageous decision to leave, seeking a life of freedom and safety. Her divorce was difficult, a legal and emotional battlefield, but it also marked the beginning of a new chapter where Kelly could embrace her own joy and focus on Gianna. Kenny Pohlman was born in 1971 as the eldest of 4 siblings, in a Long Island family that valued hard work and community. Growing up in an era before video games and smartphones, he and his siblings John, Tony, Ann, and Tommy spent their days playing stickball, football, and riding bikes until dusk. Those childhood experiences built his love for connection and teamwork, traits he carried into adulthood. After graduating from SUNY Old Westbury, Kenny embarked on a career in IT, eventually becoming a senior account executive at Converged Technology Group. He married young and built a family with his first wife, Kim, welcoming 2 children, Brianna and Tyler. Life seemed full, and happiness was tangible. But tragedy struck in 2007 when Kim was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer. Despite her brave fight, she passed away, leaving Kenny to navigate single fatherhood in his mid-30s. Determined to honor Kim's legacy, Kenny created the Pohlman Foundation, raising funds for cancer research and helping families affected by the disease. His devotion to his children was unwavering, ensuring they never felt alone in their grief. Later, he remarried and welcomed a daughter, Jenna, but that marriage eventually ended. leaving him once again to balance parenting with personal healing. Yet, he navigated this with grace, creating a life of stability and love for his children while still maintaining hope for future happiness. Around 2023, fate brought Kelly and Kenny together. Two people who had known loss and heartache found solace in one another. Their connection was immediate, rooted in mutual understanding and shared values. Both wanted love, but also family stability and emotional security. The blending of their families was seamless. Gianna bonded with Kenny's children, and the three of them, Brianna, Tyler, and Jenna, welcomed Kelly into their lives. Friends and relatives noted the transformation. Kelly's laughter returned, and Kenny's joy was palpable. Together, they created a home filled with warmth, love, and stability, a rare success story in the complexities of blended families. Kelly and Kenny defied these odds, showing how patience, love, and dedication can forge unity. Their happiness culminated in Kelly's 50th birthday celebration, a gathering that symbolized triumph over past pain and the bright promise of life together. But not everyone could celebrate their happiness. Daniel Coppola, Kelly's ex-husband, watched their joy with increasing resentment. Bitter over the divorce and what he saw as his financial losses, he fixated on revenge. Threats escalated, becoming more specific and alarming. Daniel's behavior aligned with warning signs: obsessive planning, aggression, and a fixation on controlling outcomes. He meticulously prepared, writing typewritten plans, marking bullets for specific targets, and envisioning the destruction he intended. The community remained unaware of the severity of his intent, but the shadow of danger was growing. Daniel's obsession was a ticking time bomb, threatening the very family that had finally found peace. It was a typical Wednesday evening on Brasswood Road. Kelly and Kenny were at home, winding down after a summer of laughter and family moments. The house, a $1.1 million sanctuary, had become a haven of love for their blended family. Gianna, preparing for school the next day, had no idea her world was about to shatter. 3 miles away, Daniel Coppola was orchestrating his deadly plan. Earlier, he had driven recklessly with Gianna in the car, terrifying her until she begged to be returned to her mother. Once home, he positioned himself outside Kelly and Kenny's house, armed and ready. At around 11:30 p.m., he forced entry, navigating the hallways with a chilling purpose. In a matter of minutes, the lives of Kelly Coppola and Kenneth Pohlman were violently ended. The quiet suburb erupted into chaos as emergency calls flooded 911. Friends, family, and neighbors would later recall the disbelief and horror that gripped the community. The night of August 28, 2024, left the Long Island community in shock, and the investigation that followed would reveal the chilling extent of Daniel Coppola's planning. Within minutes of receiving reports from 15-year-old Gianna and her friends about threats and erratic behavior, police arrived at Daniel's Harbor Road residence. What they found inside would send immediate waves of alarm through law enforcement and the community alike. Officers discovered a typewritten document meticulously outlining a murder plot. Each detail was calculated, leaving little to chance. Bullets were carefully labeled with the names of each intended victim. Not only Kelly Coppola and Kenneth Pohlman, but also the attorneys involved in the divorce proceedings. Even Daniel's own attorney had a bullet marked in his name. Investigators described the documents as excruciatingly detailed, showing not just premeditation, but a level of obsession. This was not a crime of passion. It was a calculated act of vengeance. At the Brasswood Road residence, responding officers encountered the grim aftermath. Kelly and Kenny lay lifeless, victims of gunshot wounds, their lives violently cut short. Evidence at the scene included forced entry through the front door lock and discarded items, including one of Daniel's sandals found beneath Kenny's body, a stark, haunting marker of the confrontation. Investigators noted the careful execution of the ambush, recognizing the attempt at both planning and efficiency in the act, further reinforcing the premeditated nature of the murders. Daniel Coppola was taken into custody at his home shortly afterward, and almost immediately confessed to the murders. His admission, coupled with the typewritten plans and forensic evidence from both crime scenes. From a legal perspective, premeditated first-degree murder carries significant weight in New York. Prosecutors emphasized that Daniel's methodical preparations, the specific targeting of multiple victims, and his documentation of intent constituted compelling evidence for pursuing the most serious charges possible. The investigation not only unraveled the details of that fateful night, but also highlighted his ex-wife and her partner had found a devastating lesson in the deadly potential of jealousy and premeditated rage. The Long Island community was left reeling in the wake of the brutal murders of Kelly Coppola and Kenneth Pohlman. For a town where neighbors waved from their driveways and children played freely on quiet streets, almost immediately, friends, colleagues, and strangers rallied to support the surviving children. A GoFundMe campaign called Kenny's Kids raised over $148,000 to help Brianna, Tyler, and Jenna navigate life without their father. Meanwhile, Kelly's family established Support Gianna after tragic loss, which amassed over $96,000 in just 5 days. Donations poured in from across the country, small gestures of kindness, each one a message of love and hope to a grieving family. People left notes, flowers, and messages expressing heartbreak, solidarity, and encouragement. Memorial services for Kelly and Kenny became both solemn and celebratory gatherings. Hundreds attended, including family, friends, colleagues, and neighbors who had been touched by the victims' lives. At Kelly's service, relatives shared stories of her warmth, her laughter, and the way she had always prioritized others, from attending every cheerleading competition to remembering every birthday. Kenny's memorial highlighted his infectious joy, his unwavering dedication to his children, and his philanthropy through the Pohlman Foundation. Family members recounted how he had always approached life with optimism and resilience, turning personal tragedy into acts of generosity for others. The trauma of witnessing her father's erratic behavior and learning about the murders firsthand was overwhelming. In the months following the tragedy, Long Island's residents proved that mourning together, supporting one another, and honoring the memory of the lost can foster resilience, compassion, and hope, turning heartbreak into a shared commitment to protect and uplift those most vulnerable. Despite the unimaginable horror of that night, what endures most in the hearts of those who knew them is not the violence that took Kelly Coppola and Kenneth Pohlman from the world, but the love they shared, a love that was vibrant, steadfast, and deeply transformative. For years, both had carried the weight of tragedy in their personal lives. Kelly had endured a difficult and abusive marriage, while Kenny had faced the heartbreak of losing his first wife to cancer. Yet, in each other, they found a rare and profound happiness, a love that was equal parts gentle and protective, joyous and enduring. Friends and family who witnessed their relationship often remarked that it was not merely romantic affection, but a union that revitalized two souls who had suffered deeply. Kelly's laughter returned in a way it had not for decades, and Kenny's smile grew broader, more open, reflecting the relief of a heart finally at peace. Lori Patton, Kelly's sister-in-law, often described Kelly as being in love for the first time in a long time, and she meant it not just love, but a love that allowed her to truly flourish as a mother, a daughter, and a friend. Tommy Pohlman, Kenny's younger brother, emphasized the enduring lessons that Kenny's life and love leave behind. "My brother's legacy is one of protection, devotion, and unconditional love," he said. Even in the face of unimaginable danger, Kenny's instinct was to shield those he cared about, a trait that continues to define the Pohlman family today. His children, Brianna, Tyler, and Jenna, carry forward the lessons of empathy, loyalty, and resilience that their father embodied. Their mother, Kim, may have passed away years earlier, but Kenny's love had extended to every child he raised, and in his final years, to Gianna as well, embracing Kelly's daughter as his own. Kelly's father, John Patton, echoed this sentiment, reflecting on her radiant spirit and her ability to touch lives, even in death. Her light continues to shine through those she touched, from nieces and nephews to friends and neighbors. Kelly's warmth, generosity, and infectious joy have left an indelible imprint on the people around her. Her legacy is one of unwavering care, devotion to family, and a life lived with authenticity and compassion. Together, Kelly and Kenny's story reminds us that love, even when cut short, has the power to transform lives, forge lasting bonds, and leave behind lessons of courage, joy, and hope. Their memory lives on not in tragedy, but in the hearts of all who were blessed to witness their extraordinary connection. The story of Kelly Coppola and Kenneth Pohlman is more than a recounting of tragedy. It is a profound reminder of the power of love, resilience, and the human spirit. These two people, both marked by heartbreak and loss, had finally found happiness in each other. Together, they created a blended family, weaving together children from previous marriages, embracing the chaos and beauty that comes with love's second chance. Their joy, laughter, and shared moments of connection remind us that life, even after pain, holds the potential for renewal. Yet, their story also serves as a stark warning about the fragility of happiness and the dangers that can emerge when jealousy and resentment go unchecked. Daniel Coppola's obsession and rage tragically cut short lives filled with promise, leaving behind a void that can never truly be filled. For Gianna, Kelly's daughter, and Kenny's 3 children, Brianna, Tyler, and Jenna, the loss is both profound and life-altering. Studies from the National Child Traumatic Stress Network show that children who experience violent parental loss are at heightened risk for PTSD, depression, and anxiety, underscoring the need for support, compassion, and community. Their stories are a powerful call to action, to protect our loved ones, to remain vigilant against domestic violence, and to ensure that those suffering in silence are never left unheard, even in the wake of unimaginable tragedy. The legacy of Kelly and Kenny's love shines through. Family members, friends, and neighbors remember them, not for the violence that ended their lives, but for the joy, compassion, and kindness they brought into the world. Kelly's radiant personality, Kenny's unwavering devotion to his children, and their shared commitment to building a life together remain a beacon of hope. They teach us that love is not measured merely by the time we have, but by the depth of the connection we share and the lives we touch. Along the way, as we reflect on their story, it is also a reminder for us, the audience, to cherish our own families, embrace opportunities for second chances, and hold tightly to the moments of love and laughter that define our lives. Let this story inspire you to reach out to those you care about, to speak up against injustice and abuse, and to appreciate the fleeting yet precious nature of life. If Kelly and Kenny's story touched you, please take a moment to comment below and share your thoughts. Your reflections honor their memory and help raise awareness about the dangers of domestic violence. In the end, although Kelly Coppola and Kenneth Pohlman were tragically taken from this world, their love, courage, and the joy they brought to those around them remain eternal. Their story is a testament to the enduring strength of the human heart, a reminder that even in the darkest moments,